In this class, now I would like to explain you some important properties of roots of quadratic equation. Let us consider alpha comma beta are two real roots of a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, as you know, where the leading term coefficient should not be equal to 0 and a comma b comma c belongs to real numbers. Now see the first property. If both the roots of this quadratic equation are positive, if both the roots of a quadratic equation are positive, then a comma c, where a, b, c are coefficients of terms of this quadratic equation. Here a and c will get same sign, that is different than sign of b. See, observe this point carefully. If both the roots of the quadratic equation are positive, then comment on the signs of a, b, c. A and c will get same sign. That sign is different than b. Okay? Why this a and c will get same sign? Why that is different than b? I explain you now. See, as you know, relation between the sum of the roots of the quadratic equation and coefficients of terms of the quadratic equation. So we know that two relations, sum of the roots is equal to minus b by a and a product of the roots is equal to c by a. As I said, as we have taken both the roots are positive. You know, if both the roots are positive, whose sum is positive? Here we have taken both the roots are positive, whose product is also positive. Product is positive, sum is positive. Now come here. Here we are getting product positive. When does it happen? Whenever the signs of c and a will have same. Same means both may have positive. Positive by positive becomes positive. And both may have negative. Negative by negative also will become positive. So the signs of c and a must be positive to get this division as positive. Okay? Now we have confirmed the signs of c and a. Both should be same. Now come here. So here we have taken both the roots are positive. Okay, hence their sum is positive. But here we have got minus b by a. So it should be positive. When it should be positive? Whenever a and b will get different signs. Because when a gets positive, b should be negative. Because before this minus is there. Minus into minus becomes positive. So suppose if a is negative, b should be positive. Because minus minus get cancelled again. This division will become positive. Okay. So let us see one example. So suppose if you take any two positive roots as alpha is equal to 2 and beta is equal to 3. Now frame a quadratic equation whose roots are 2 and 3. So what do we get? X square minus sum of the roots 5 and the product of the roots. So 6 is equal to 0. Now observe A and C. What we have got? Here 1, here 6. Here A and C are getting same sign than B. Okay, I hope you have understood this first property. Now let us go to one more property. Now next one, if both the roots are negative, if both the roots of quadratic equation are negative, then A comma B comma C signs of A comma B comma C are same. See this property. When both the roots of the quadratic equation are negative, so whenever the roots of the quadratic equation are negative, we get the signs of A, B, C are same. So y means, see, observe this. As we know, sum of the roots, both we have taken negative. So when we add the, so negative, two negative terms whose sum is negative. So when you take the product of two negatives, alpha, beta, alpha is negative, beta is negative. Hence whose product is positive you will get. Again observe this, product we have got positive. So when do we get this is positive? Whenever C and A will have same sign. Both may be positive, both may be negative. Again come here. So here we should get the sum is negative. When do we get the sum is negative? Whenever B and A will have same sign. So if it is plus and plus, division become positive, positive into minus, negative will come. If B is negative, A is negative, negative by negative, positive, positive into minus, negative will come. Hence, so this A and B and C must have same sign. Okay students. Now let us go to one more property. Next, third one is when both the roots are having opposite signs. Means if alpha, if you take positive, beta should be negative. If alpha is negative, beta should be positive. So if you take the roots like that, then okay, what do you comment on A and C? If both roots of quadratic equation have opposite signs, then A and C will get opposite signs. Yes or no? See, both the roots are having opposite signs. So whenever you take opposite signs of alpha and beta, your product is negative. When do we get C by A is negative? Whenever C and A will have opposite signs. But in this case, we cannot comment on the sign of B. So that b may be positive or b may be negative. I hope you have understood this. Now let us go to one more property. Suppose if the roots of the quadratic equation are reciprocal to each other, if roots of a quadratic equation are reciprocal to each other, then A is equal to C we will get, because you know product of the roots alpha beta equal to C by A. So here we are taking the roots are reciprocal to each other. Reciprocal to each other means if one root is taken as alpha, then other root must be taken as 1 by alpha, reciprocal of this. Now take their product, alpha cancel, then what do we get? 1 is equal to C by A. Transfer A to the left side, A is equal to C you will get. Okay? Right. Next. See, once write the quadratic equation. F of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Suppose if you consider 1 is one of the root of the quadratic equation, put x equal to 1. X equal to 1 is one of the root of the quadratic equation. Then what do you get? Replace this x by 1. You get a plus b plus c equal to 0. See, you know a, b, c are called coefficients of terms of this quadratic equation. If 1 is one of the root of this quadratic equation, so we get the coefficients sum is equal to 0. Remember this point. Okay? So suppose here when we go to applications, so we get the application like this. Solve this quadratic equation. If it is given like this, then how do you answer to this question? Solve this quadratic equation where a is not equal to b is not equal to c. If this application is given, how do we answer? So your condition is given, a is not equal to b is not equal to c. Okay? So observe the coefficients of the terms. This is first term whose coefficient is this, and this is second term whose coefficient is this. This is third term. Now add all of them. So here a into b, here minus ac, bc minus ba. So ca minus bc will come. When you add all of them, you get 0. So here we get the sum of the coefficients of these three terms is equal to 0 we will get. Hence we can confirm one of the root is 1. Then how do we get the other root? So for that you take this product of the roots relation c by a. But here c value in the place of constant what is given? C of a minus b. But in the place of a into b minus c. Now put alpha equal to 1. When you write alpha equal to 1, your other root will be c into a minus b by a of b minus c we will get. Okay? So what are the roots of this quadratic equation? 1 and c of a minus b by a of b minus c. Next, see the next property. If the roots of the quadratic equation are in the ratio m is to n, the roots of the quadratic equation are in the ratio m is to n, then show that m plus n whole square of AC, which is equal to b square into mn. If the ratio of the roots of quadratic equation is m is to n, then show that m plus n whole square into AC is equal to b square into mn we will get. So here we people have to remember like a standard result. Okay, how this result will come I explain you. Then afterwards I explain you one application based on this model. Now see this proof. See, if alpha is to beta is equal to m is to n, then we get m plus n whole square into AC is equal to b square into mn. So how that relation will come? Now here I explain you. So as you know, so what is given in the problem? Alpha is to beta is equal to m is to n. Now here roots we do not know, but whose ratio is given. So okay, consider that root is equal to m into some constant k, and beta is equal to n into some constant k. As you know, so sum is equal to how much? When you add these two, m plus n into k we will get. So sum of the roots minus b by a, which is equal to m plus n into k. So here make k as subject. So if you make k as subject, here we will get minus b by a of m plus n. Keep it aside. Now let us go to the product of the roots. Alpha beta is equal to, so here we get m into n, k square we will get. Now product of the roots, as we know, c by a, m into n. Here k value we prepared. This value substitute over there. When you substitute this value over there, what do we get? Minus b by a of m plus n whole square we will get. Now go for simplification. C by a, which is equal to, so mn into minus power 2 becomes positive, b square by a square of m plus n we will get. Now simplify. So write this a square as a into a. Now this a you can cancel. A whole square will come. Now bring this m plus n whole square to the left side. Here a is there. So what do we get? M plus n whole square. This a into c, ac, which is equal to mn into b square. Okay. So this relation we get finally when alpha is to beta is equal to m is to n. Now let us see one small application based on this. Now see this question. One root of px square minus 14x plus 8 equal to 0 is 6 times the other, then find p. One root of this quadratic equation is 6 times of other, then find p. Okay, that is the given question. What did they say in the problem? One root is 6 times the other, means if you take one root is alpha, then other root is 6 alpha. If you take one root is alpha, then other root is 6 alpha. One root is 6 times of other they mentioned. So when we take the ratio, we get 6 is to 1. Otherwise you can take 1 is to 6. One root is 6 times of Other they mentioned. So 6 alpha comma alpha you have to consider. When you take their ratio, you get 6:1. Now substitute in this relation. Here this is m is to n. M value 6, n value 1. M plus n 7. 7 square 49. Here A, C collect from the given equation. Here A value P, C value 8. So 8 into P you will get, which is equal to M into N, 6. B square value minus 14 whole square, 196. Now simplify that. Okay. So how much do we get P? P is equal to 6 into 196 by 49 into 8. So 49 ones are 49 twos are 98. 98 twos are 196. So that 49 fours you can cancel. Now P is equal to how much? So 6 fours are 24. So 24 by 8. Now P is equal to 8 threes are. So our required value of P is 3. So when P value is 3, then this equation will get, okay, whose roots ratio 6:1. Next, see the next property. If one root of the quadratic equation is nth power of other, if alpha comma alpha n are roots of a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, then we get this condition: a power n into c whole power 1 by n plus 1 plus a into c power n whole power 1 by n plus 1 plus b is equal to 0 we will get. See, be careful this property, no confusion. Alpha power n. How are these roots? One root is nth power of other. One root is nth power of other. See, other root is taken as alpha. Then this root will be nth power of this. So whenever the roots of this quadratic equation like this, we get this relation. See, in the last one, when the roots ratio of the roots of the quadratic equation are m is to n, then the relation between that m, n and a, b, c, we have got m plus n whole square. AC is equal to b square into AC we got. So there we have done one application. So okay, in that application we computed the value of P. So for that P we collected ABC values from the given application and we substituted and finally we got P value. So same model of question also, so will be going to given to us based on this. They will say in the problem alpha and alpha power n are the roots of this quadratic equation. Then see here in place of ABC, okay, so two things only will be given to you, and in the third place they will write unknown value. That unknown value they will question us to find. So in those type of models we use this relation. Okay, so this proof is somewhat lengthy, will come. So that proof is not required, just you remember like a standard result. By using the standard result you can tackle the problem. See, a power n into c whole power 1 by n plus 1 plus a c power n into whole power 1 by n plus 1 plus b equal to 0. Okay, so sometimes in the problem they will say the roots of the quadratic equations are alpha and alpha square, means one root is square of other. Okay, one root is square of other means, see here. If you take one root is alpha, other root you have to take alpha square. When the roots are like this, so here we get this condition. So here b cube plus a square c, ac square, which is equal to 3abc we will get. So this relation we get from the earlier one. So in the place of n we wrote to 2 no. So finally we got one relation. In that relation if you write n equal to 2 and if you simplify, so you get this relation. Just you remember like a standard result. b cube plus a square c plus ac square, which is equal to 3abc. So from this one also we get same model of application. Here in the place of abc only two constants they will write here. In the third one place they will write unknown value and they will question us to find that unknown value. Just use this relation and find that unknown value. Okay? Right. Next. See. Now let us take the standard form of the quadratic equation. Suppose in which if you take c is 0, then what kind of roots do you get? Ax square plus bx, which is equal to 0. When you take x common from this, so here you get ax plus b is equal to 0. Now the product of two linear expressions is equal to 0 you got means here you can equate x equal to 0 and this ax plus b equal to 0. Okay? X equal to 0 and when you simplify this one, x equal to 0, x equal to minus b by a we will get. See, whenever this constant is 0, one of the root is 0 and other root is minus b by a. See, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Suppose if b is 0 here, then what do we get? Ax square plus c is equal to 0. Now ax square is equal to minus c. Now x square is equal to minus c by a. Now x is equal to plus or minus root of minus c by a you will get. Okay, whether these roots are real or imaginary, that will be based on the c. If c is positive, you get here two imaginary roots. If c is negative, then you will get two real roots. Suppose in this given quadratic equation, if any one of the root is infinite, infinite means a very big value. Okay, so let us take that infinite root is x equal to 1 by t. X equal to 1 by t. Now in the place of x write 1 by t. 1 by t whole square plus b into 1 by t plus c equal to 0. When we simplify this, what do we get here? A by t square, here b by t. So finally what do we get? A plus bt plus ct square, which is equal to 0 we will get. Now see here, when it will become infinite, whenever t tends to 0. If t approaches to 0, then this x will get infinite. So in the place of t, if you write here 0, then your a will become 0. Then a is equal to 0. Okay? Suppose if both the roots are infinite, see here, what do we get? If both the roots are infinite, okay, so in that case also we get b0 and a also will become 0. So these are some useful properties of roots of quadratic equation. So now let us go to conditions for common roots of two quadratic equations. Let us assume two quadratic equations as a1x square plus b1x plus c1 equal to 0 is one quadratic equation. Now let us take other one is a2x square plus b2x plus c2 is equal to 0. If these two quadratic equations will have two roots as common, then we get this condition. a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, which is equal to c1 by c2 we will get. So here a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2 are coefficients of terms of the two quadratic equation. Whenever both will get roots as same, then the ratio of coefficients of corresponding terms of these two equations is same. Remember this condition. If only one root of these two quadratic equations is same, then we get this condition. c1a2 minus c2a1 whole square, which is equal to a1b2 minus a2b1 into b1c2 minus b2c1. This condition we will get. If any one of the root of this quadratic equations is same, then we get this relation between the coefficients of terms of these two quadratic equations. So when we go to the applications, we get the applications like this. In the place of a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, among that 6 places, 5 places constants they will write, and in the 6th one place they will write unknown value, and they will question us to find that unknown value. They will mention in the problem. Both will have one root as common, then find that unknown value means directly you can use this relation. So collect the a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2 values and substitute here and go for simplification. You will get that unknown value. So if you want this proof, now I can give you. See, solve these two quadratic equation by method of cross multiplication. You know how to solve these two equations by method of cross multiplication. In the cross multiplication method, first we have to check whether the given equations are there in the standard form or not. So observe them which are there in the standard form. Now write first b1, next to c1, next to a1, b1. So here b2, c2, a2, b2. Now here write x square. So here x, here 1. Now you know how to solve hereafter. So find the determinant of these 4 numbers. What do we get here? b1 c2 minus b2 c1. Now which is equal to here x by c1 a2 minus c2 a1, which is equal to 1 by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Right, now we equate these two. When you equate these two, you get that common root as c1a2 minus c2a1 whole by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. This is the common root. You know when it will get a common root, whenever this denominator is not equal to 0, a1 b2 minus a2 b1 is not equal to 0, then only we will get the common root. If the denominator is 0, we don't get the common root. Observe that. So sometimes they may question us to find only common root. Just to solve them and identify. Otherwise you can use this direct formula for the common root. So we have got the common root. After collecting that common root, so how we got this common root? By equating this one and this one. we prepared and we wrote here. Now after that equate this one and this one. When you equate this first and last, what do we get? X square is equal to b1 c2 minus b2 c1 whole by a1 b2 minus a2 b1 we will get. So in which substitute this x value here. When you substitute here, c1 a2 minus c2 a1 whole by a1 b2 minus a2 b1 whole square, which is equal to b1 c2 minus b2 c1 whole by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Now simplify. Here square is there. So observe both sides denominators. So one will be get cancelled. So okay, when you cancel this one with one of the factor of this, what will be left? c1a2 minus c2a1 whole square. So after cancelling this one with one of the factor of this, okay, one factor will be left now. So that one I am sending into the right side. When you transfer this one into the right side, here we will get a1 b2 minus a2 b1 into b1 c2 minus b2 c1 we will get. So this is our required relation for having one common root. Okay, thank you one and all.